Inhale the cool, exhale the boo. What it do, everybody? It's Suelo, and we are back at it again with another edition of Sage Cam. And today's topic, we are going to be discussing true love. Okay, how to find true love, that is. And because quick overview, I know a lot of people want to find true love, want to be in a real relationship, so that's what the subject is about. And I'm going to talk about how to achieve that, the steps that it's going to take to get there, seeing as I've been there, done that in a type of sense, so I do have people who ask me for advice here and there about relationships and things like that. So I'm here. I've been in a loving relationship, faithful relationship for 7 years now. So I feel like I'm in the space and I can talk about how to get there. So to find true love, first and foremost, I tell this people all the time that you will never find true love, a romantic true love, a partner, a real true loving relationship, until you learn to love yourself. Let me say that again. Until you learn to love yourself. You have to love yourself first and foremost. If you don't love yourself, you will never be able to love anybody else. And that's big facts, right? So now let's talk about that, about loving yourself. That's something I tell people all the time. They ask about relationship advice and things like that, and I tell them, you gotta learn to love yourself first. And people be like, I do love myself. And then they start to name off like accomplishments that they've achieved in life, or a job title that they have, or material possessions that they own. And in their mind, that's their life is great. They love themselves, etc. And those things are cool. Like those things are beautiful to have. You want to have a great job, a fulfilling job, material things to own, like a house and a vehicle, and obviously, things like that. Like there's nothing wrong with having those things. I'm not saying that in the least bit. But having those things doesn't mean you love yourself. It doesn't mean that you truly love your life. That's what it comes down to, loving yourself. You have to love your life. And how to get there, it's a process, it's a journey. It takes years to fully understand and comprehend what someone is trying to say when they say you have to love yourself. But it's about, one, losing fear, living fearful. If you're living fearful, you're not really enjoying and loving your life. So you have to lose fear of the unknown, fear of death, most importantly, the fear of like bad things happening to you, and just like stepping out of your comfort zone and trying new things. Like, you have to lose that fear. You won't accomplish anything great in your comfort zone. So step one, lose that fear. Once you lose that fear, you start to realize how amazing your life is and how fulfilling your life is, and you have to live with a purpose, trying to accomplish something, and you give that full effort without the fear of failure, because you accept your life as it is, and you're like, what, I'm gonna die one day, so let me go all in on this, and you love your life, and you want to make your life the best it can be. And not necessarily on the outside physical material world, but on the inside, you have to realize that love that you have in your heart for yourself. You start to love the world. You have more empathy and compassion for other people, and you understand their suffering and things like that. That's the first step to loving yourself. Step two, all of this is kind of intertwined, but step two is killing that ego that we all have. You know what I mean? Do you ever kill it fully? I don't know, but you can certainly drastically diminish it, right? And that has to be step one, is you have to get out of your own way if you want to find true love. And something that's holding you back is that ego you have, is this image that you portray to the world, that you believe that you have to live up to. Like, this is who I am, and that's the ego. And every move you make starts to live up to that. Once you kill that nonsense, you kill that noise, and you don't have anything to live up to, that's when you really start living, because that's when you start living your true self, not that ego, not that image of that thing that you have to portray to be, because you are holding yourself back from love when you do that. Because I can't, you start to say to yourself like, I can't do that, like to start like put your defense down a little bit and get a little soft or whatever. It's like, no, I can't do that because I'm hard. I'm a real dude. Like, I'm manly. Nah, I don't do that. And it's like, you're only harming yourself when you have that mindset. It makes no sense. It's just all ego driven. It's this image of what you think you should be. And ultimately, you're not going to find true love, because you're not truly loving yourself. You are worshiping and loving, so to speak, this image that you have of yourself. And then you wonder why you're not happy, you're not satisfied, and you're not finding true love, because you're trying to live up to this ego of who you're really not. That's not who you really are. You are, in your true self is in your pure core self. You're a pure loving being. Right? We are all loving beings. So to find true love, we must find ourselves first. Okay? Most definitely. Rid yourself of the ego. Stop living up to this image of what you think you are, what you should be. Take a step back and start to analyze your life and what really motivates you, what just draws your attention, and you'll find that you have that true love for yourself deep down inside once you remove that nonsense. You know what I mean? Don't be scared to get a little soft and touchy, and because ultimately that's how you find yourself. You have to get out of your comfort zone, like I said before. And let's see, next step would be once you start to work on yourself, you start to learn yourself, you start to love yourself, you ultimately have to be what you want your future partner to be, right? So let me explain. If you want a faithful, loyal, maybe sober partner or whatever, maybe, just for example, you have to be those things, right? Me as a guy, for example, let's say I want a girl that is faithful, doesn't like to party a lot. She likes to stay in the house and chill, watch documentaries, and read books, play video games or something, and isn't a whore, quote unquote, isn't sleeping around and things like that. If you want those things, you have to be those things, because life is karma, you know what I mean? So if you are sleeping around, you're going out partying and clubbing, but yet you're saying that you want somebody that's the complete opposite of that, it's not going to work out. It doesn't work that way, bro. Karma is real, and what you put out, you get back. What goes around comes around. So don't be surprised if you're clubbing and partying and sleeping around and all this, and don't be surprised if that's what you attract into your life, and if that's the type of women you bring into your life. You know what I mean? You have to, if you want a woman that's faithful, loyal, stays at home and all that, you have to do that. So you'd have to stop going out clubbing and partying and drinking every weekend, and maybe stay home, read some books, watch some documentaries, work on yourself. You know what I mean? Meditate, exercise, whatever. Just, instead of going out and doing that stuff that you don't want your partner to do, stay home and do the stuff that you do want your partner to do. So stay home, work on yourself. Don't sleep around. Very big one that I've noticed with a lot of guys is they feel like they can sleep around with any chick they want, but yet when it comes down to it, they want to get married to a girl that is a virgin or something. You know what I mean? And it's like, what? Like, you you've been sleeping with 20 different women, and then all of a sudden you want to snap your fingers. Okay, I'm ready to get married now. Let me go find a faithful woman that doesn't sleep around. It's like, it's not gonna work that way, dude. Karma, like I said again. You know what I mean? So don't sleep around. You know, it's tough. It's tough. You know what I mean? And if I could go ahead and open up to you guys, that's what I did. That's what I had to do and settle down from like the ages of 18 and 20, more or less around there, 19, 21, somewhere around there. I decided to take that step. I was like, you know what? It doesn't make sense for me to want a partner that doesn't sleep around, but yet I'm sleeping around, you know, going crazy. So I decided to take that step and, what's it called? Abstinence? Is that the word? You know, to abstain from sex, you know, and it wasn't easy. I kind of slipped up here and there a little bit, you know what I mean? Might have did some things I shouldn't have done, you know, but for the most part, I kept that up, and I had that in the back of my mind, in the forefront of my mind, actually, for those 2 years, more or less, that I abstained from that. I had that in my mind, and I'm like, you know what, I can't fall for this. I can't go down this hole, because I'm only hurting myself in the end run. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna find true love that way. I'm not gonna find that type of partner if I'm not behaving that way. So yeah, dudes, you want to find a chick that doesn't sleep around, you don't sleep around. Work on yourself, learn to love yourself, and trust me, there is some girl out there that's doing the same thing. And like I said, that's gonna bring it back to what I said earlier, is you have to lose that fear. You have to grow in faith. I'm sitting up like I'm getting serious now. you have to grow that faith, and people lose faith and like, oh, this is nonsense. What do you mean karma? And I haven't, or like, let's say a guy is like a year in, like, oh, I haven't slept with anybody in a year. I haven't found a partner. Like, you can't lose that patience. You have to keep that faith, because trust me, I've been there, done that. I'm speaking from experience, bro. Like, listen to me. It will work. You just have to really, really settle down and work on yourself first and foremost. Be who you want your partner to be. Point blank, period. You know, so keep that faith. I don't know what you believe in, God, karma, energy, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. Like, what goes around comes around, and you will be blessed. You will, but you have to have that pure heart. You got to lose that ego. You have to work on yourself. Keep that love in your heart. Grow to love yourself. Learn to love yourself, and you will attract a partner that's doing the same thing that you're doing. Trust me, there's how many billions of girls in the world? There's a ton of them doing the same thing that you're doing, looking for the same partner that you're looking for. And you know, and like I'm saying, you know, it goes both ways. Women, if you want to attract a guy like that, you know, those qualities that I mentioned earlier, like, you have to behave the same way. So there is women and guys both doing the same thing, and they both want that. They both want true love and a beautiful partner for life, and you will find it. Like in my case, I was doing this, my partner was doing the same thing. We were working on ourselves, and God, the universe, arranged it, and pow, magic, baby. 7 years strong and going to the end of time. You know, so if you want to find true love, a romantic love, a partnership, you have to love yourself. You have to learn to love yourself, and whatever that means to you, go out and do it. But it has to be true love. My highest recommendation is reading books, you know, Eastern religions, reading books on love, reading books on consciousness, on God. Educate yourself, learn to love yourself more, lose fear. Don't be scared and think that you have to settle down, and you're never gonna find a partner, and then you just start to settle with whoever comes around, you know, and then you're never happy. You're both miserable. You fight and you argue all the time, and you might say you're in love, you guys might portray like you guys are in love, but behind closed doors, and you guys fight, and deep down in your heart, you guys don't really love each other. That's not true love, straight up, you know, because you guys never did the work. You have to do the work. It's not going to be given to you. You know what I mean? It does take work, but like I said, it's effortless, because loving yourself is effortless. Once you remove the boundaries and the ego and all these illusions that we have of what love is and what our true self is, once you remove those things, it's effortless to love yourself. It's common sense. It's second nature, you know. But first we have to overcome our conditioning that we received through our lives from infancy to now, you know. So yeah, if I could give you guys something to walk away with, is you're not gonna find true love until you love yourself. Truly love your true self. Diminish the ego. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if this is foreign, start doing some research on it. You know what I mean? That's what I started doing, just doing research. Boom, boom, reading books, movies, videos, YouTube, all that. You know, like, do research on it. Like, what is the ego? You know, there's a lot of Eastern religions that talk about it. A lot of spiritual practices that talk about it. Research what is the ego. And then that's how you start to understand more of what it is that I'm trying to portray. Because a lot of people don't understand what ego means. They don't know what an ego is. So do research what is an ego and how to destroy it. I would say that's step one, first and foremost, because your ego is not true love. It's not. It's fear-based. So here are the steps from Suelo: how to find true love. Research what is an ego, how to destroy it. Step 2, how to love yourself. And step 3, be who you want your partner to be. That's how you find true love. And that's my word. If you have any questions, hit me up. You know, I'm always available. I can give tips, advice, try to guide you in the right direction. I'm here to help, baby. I love the world. I love people. I want all of us to be happy. I want all of us to find love for ourselves, family, partners, life. So, and that's why I make these videos. So if you have any questions, man, just go ahead, hit me up. I got emails, DMs, all that. You know where to find me. So how to find true love. This has been Suelo with the Sage Count. Hope you have a good life. Peace.